Did I leave and come back? Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we're good. We're coming at you live in the 2-5.
Live to Zoom
Billy Ray was
from
a
Latvia.
preacher's son, and when his daddy would visit, he'd come
Two
along.
PKs.
When they gathered around and started
I'm
talking,
Jeff.
And I'm Mutt. Or
Mutt.
Dallas. Yeah, Jeff and Mutt. Yeah, Jeff and
Yeah.
Mutt show. Yeah. No, I'm
Oh,
Dallas. I'm
all
Dallas. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And thought maybe you had a new nickname for us.
Well, I think it is kind of the Jeff and Mutt show.
Have you ever had a nickname? Does a person
Yeah.
with the name Dallas need a nickname? I mean, isn't that already kind of like,
Well, you'll always be and forever and always called Texas. Forever
yeah,
and or
Tex
in
for sure?
Houston. Houston is
Yeah.
another one. Um, where it's like for whatever reason, some like calling you by a different name gives people some kind of little thing with you. And but yeah, it would be Austin, El Paso. Like if
So
they
just
were,
any city in Texas, basically,
yeah, like
other than
if they really liked me, they'd call me El Paso. Um,
Speaking of El Paso, I went to a Mexican restaurant here that claimed to be authentic Mexican. And so I've been looking for a real Mexican restaurant in Riga, like something that actually tastes like food we have back in the States.
Mhm.
How's Mexican food in Georgia? It's all right.
Pretty good. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was some. Yeah. Like there was a few that were really authentic that would come through. That's where I had my first glass of horchata. Was in the
What's that?
horchata is rice milk with cinnamon.
Oh, it's like a
Yeah,
dessert drink.
yeah. So Mexican restaurants cook a lot of rice, and so
Ah, they
then
have the leftover juice
yeah,
from it.
and then mix cinnamon and sugar, and then shake it all up and
I
make
don't
it
think I've
like
ever had a horchata.
yeah, it's really good.
That
It's
looks fantastic.
I mean it's slightly addictive to be honest with you,
Yeah.
like a chicken enchilada
And a horchata.
and
Say
horchata.
that really fast, Dallas. Chicken
Chicken
enchilada.
enchilada and a horchata. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we went to this place. I don't even know the name of it. I don't want to disparage them too much, but you get the like I asked if like on the menu they don't even have like chips and salsa. Like in Omaha, I don't know how it is in other places, but you go to a Mexican restaurant, you sit down. First thing they bring a basket of chips and
Yeah.
salsa. Take your drink order, whatever. And
Mhm.
here is like I was looking on the menu in Latvian, no chips and salsa, no, not even an option. So I asked the waitress, I said, "Can we just get chips and salsa? Like it's a Mexican restaurant." Oh yeah, I think we can get you some. She brings it out, and you know what it is? It's the chips from a bag. You get it
Mhm.
Remy, and it's
Mhm.
the salsa from the jar, just that fake
Right.
sweet salsa that they have here that doesn't taste anything like real salsa. I'm like, you're a restaurant. You're a Mexican restaurant. It takes 5 minutes to make salsa. Just
Yeah.
chop up some tomatoes, throw in some garlic, onion, just do it. And then everything. And then when I got my food, I got enchiladas. So the enchiladas, I got to say, were good. They bring them on a steaming plate. Everything's
Mhm.
good. Ask for some jalapenos. They didn't put any jalapenos in there. That's fine. And they give me two shells for this big steaming plate of enchiladas. Like
Mhm.
you're supposed to get like 4 or 5 like soft shells, make yourself a little taco. They give you
Mhm.
two, and I'm like, two? And she looks at me like I'm crazy because I'm like, it's not enough for a whole thing enchiladas. So yeah, the overall experience is just felt fake, felt like this word authentic gets thrown around.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody checking, right? There's
Right. Well, I
to
think
get the
like
seal of
here.
authenticity in Riga, I don't think
Mhm.
there's a lot of Mexicans checking it out and saying,
Yeah, here you
no,
have a
no.
lot of exchange programs where they'll go back and forth. So there you might have like a little partnership or something that's like loosely connected one way or the other, but definitely not what I'm used to. I've found that over the years there's something about the onions, I think, or something about the um, I don't know if it's jalapenos or onions or pepper, chili pepper,
Well, like
possibly.
different peppers we don't have here, and then the oregano,
Yeah,
Mexican oregano is different than the oregano we have here.
yeah.
So, and cumin.
Hmm.
There's just some spices that you just can't quite get the same
Hmm.
here that
Yeah,
we have there.
I think I love things with chili, but then I have a little bit of an anaphylactic um
Ah,
reaction to it. No, I
what
like
happens? You blow up like a balloon?
no, it's just more like a uh I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like an allergy. Yeah.
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 Yeah, but what's the yeah, I know what an anaphylactic is. It's an allergy, but what's
Yeah.
the result of the allergy? What's the manifestation? Do you cough? Do you
Um
sweat? Your eyes pop out of your head, your hair falls out
yeah.
like mine. What happens, Dallas?
I think it like a migraine is the most
Oh,
noticeable thing. Yeah, where it's like there's a migraine and then um it's basically just something where you have to find ways to process it through.
so you're saying
Mm.
spicy food will give you a migraine?
Yeah, well, it's what it does is it goes after your like lower intestines and kind of creates an inflammation inside your intestines. So it makes all of that inflamed. And so you can't really eat anything. You can't it's
But
like
this is we're talking about you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It disrupts a lot of stuff. There it's
All
like
right.
there and then there's also other things with onions where your body can not everyone, it's a small amount of people, but your body can have it where it's like it's being poisoned. Um,
Well,
and
yeah,
and so it's a very strange thing where it's what an autoimmune system or autoimmune response or
yeah,
disorder would be.
yeah.
It's
Well,
where your body thinks it's being poisoned and it responds to that. It's not really
yeah,
being poisoned, but then the
yeah.
response poisons you. So it's
Well,
like
that's the
you
funny thing about
poison
so many of
yourself.
these spices that we like. It's like they are designed by the plants to keep us from eating them.
Exactly.
And yet
Yeah.
we're like, let's eat that. Let's eat that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put that in our mouth, even
Right.
though it's like our bodies say, no, don't do that. That's not what
Hmm.
you're supposed to do. We
Well,
humans
and
are dumb.
the strangest thing is that I felt like it was in synchronicity with the way that the Mexican population and everyone was kind of being treated back in America, and it's like the big ice roundups, and it's just like, you know,
Oh,
like
wow, you jumped to that.
like no American deserves to even have our be able to eat our salsa anymore, you know, kind of
We're
like
taking our salsa and going
yeah,
back
it's
over the border,
I'm being
going back over the black border fence.
yeah, it's kind of like
Th-
a
th-
little bit of Montezuma's revenge kind of thing.
Dallas, I hate to bring this up, but it's raining again.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it
And
raining on your side of town?
it's a little rainy today.
Yeah.
The worst part about this is that I um, searched to see when the next Northern Lights and Aurora Borealis storm would be. Like
Oh yeah.
when's the next one that's going to be where we could really see it? And it's going to be
And
tonight. It'll
in
be
summer, wow.
it'll be tonight, and we
Think
have
it's gonna clear up?
nothing but cloud cover. Well, I have a little conspiracy theory for you, Jeff.
I bet
Um,
you do, Dallas.
yeah.
My phone,
I
my phone said it's gonna be sunny by 6 o'clock tonight.
okay. Well, that's possible, but m my theory and what I have seen consistently is that each year on the first day of school, which is usually September 1st for
Always here,
Latvians,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it rains cats and dogs to so that all the students get pushed into the school and nobody wants to has any excuses to be outside. So it's like this thing of where like you're not going to be upset that you're in school
Yeah,
because it's all beautiful and
yeah.
flowers
So
and butterflies
what
outside.
they flip the weather switch on September 1st.
Yeah, they'll flip the switch so it's like, yeah, oh, what are you gonna do? It's raining. It's like the best thing
The
you could
president
do.
of Latvia and he's got the old dial and just
Yeah, well,
ring
like
for
still
stuff.
like a silver oxide or whatever they put up in
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
just
I like the switch. I like the
make
just
sure.
flip that switch.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I want to. This is a way off topic, but I'm just going to ask you this because I, since we're both from the states and we're living in Latvia now, and there's this difference. So here they have always started school in September for first day of September or whatever that Monday is after the first day of September, and then they have this tradition. They go every school, they give flowers, they bring flowers, blah blah blah. Except the international schools, they're different. And like when I was in school in the States, when I was young, when I was little, we had from June, July, and then almost all of August summer. And then since I became a teacher in the States, every year that got pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. Every year it
Hmm.
was shorter and shorter and shorter. And now schools in America are starting like August 5th, August 7th, at the beginning of
Hmm.
August. So kids are going to school all the way to June, and then they get a month and a half and then they go right back to school. And as a teacher, I was always like, why are we changing we need more hours. We need more hours. I'm like, who needs
Hmm.
more hours? Who is making these rules so that school gets longer and longer and kids have to be more and more time and this and that? And it just felt
Hmm.
like this creep, like, and no one's doing it, no one's making the rule, no one wants this. Parents don't want this, students don't want this, teachers don't want this, administrators don't want this, nobody wants it, but then it just happens. And that's what it
Well,
feels like. So much of our life is like this. Who asked for this? Who asked for this? And
yeah,
then, oh,
I
this is
remember
what's.
in the 90s there was a lot of talk about year-round school,
Mm-hmm.
how
It's a
we
big
were,
debate topic.
yeah, and that we were falling behind because we
Mm-hmm.
didn't have year-round school.
Yeah.
But then you go to other places and that's it's not actually true that they have year-round school.
No,
So
they
we have these
very,
we have these
yeah.
myths that have been
Yeah.
created about Europe in general, like
Well, that's a
especially Europe.
huge thing about the States that it's like so many myths because people don't travel. Unless you
Right.
go to a place and actually see how people are living there, you just believe what you hear. And this is even internal. Like
Hmm.
this is a huge thing in the States. And I think I mentioned this before. It's like people who live in the cities are fine living in the city, but then all the people outside the city think the city's dangerous because they hear
Hmm.
these stories and see the news and these laws and whatever.
Right.
And I remember like Washington D.C. I went there, I don't know, 7 years ago. I was there and we were in kind of a shady part of town, not a great neighborhood. I had an Airbnb. We walked everywhere, felt safe, never felt dangerous, never felt like any problem. And then I see this on the news about the National Guard being called in and all this, and it's like, yeah, from outside, people in Omaha, Nebraska probably think Washington, D.C. is a dangerous place and you can't go
Hmm.
anywhere, and you get shot in the streets and this and that because that's what they hear in their news feed or whatever. And
Hmm.
that's what they believe. And so it's at a micro level. Even, within the city of Riga, people think
Hmm.
that Muskatchewan is dangerous or Kengadogs is dangerous and you can't
Hmm.
go there at night, whatever. But you live there and you're like, no, it's not bad. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, it's just people have this strange way of believing, like uh when they don't know something they just get this narrative like that's what it is, that's what it
Hmm.
is, and it's so
Yeah.
powerful.
I remember in Atlanta growing up, and I know it's still this way now. Um, they're constantly trying to scare the population basically, and like showing
Yeah.
like where it's like they're going to show you all of these different crimes that are happening to kind
Hmm.
of to create these villains. Every 6 o'clock news
Yeah.
cycle has a
Yeah.
new villain
Yeah.
that's local, right? It's like right down
Yeah.
the street, and we got him
Yeah.
for or something like that.
Scotty Anderson.
Yeah, and then there's other things where it's like, thank God there was some police or somebody there to save those people or
No,
something.
now come on. Now that's the thing about I know we've talked about police before, but has there ever been a time where you're like, oh, thank God the police were there to stop this from happening?
Well,
Like,
I don't know about me
why doesn't it
personally.
happen more with as many police as we have, as many police as there are? It's always they show up after the fact and they don't give a crap about
Well, yeah, I mean, like
what.
all of that's certainly gone out of control. And there's a lot of stuff that does is just kind of self gratification and like a self-fulfilling prophecy. especially when
Oh
it
yeah.
comes to elections. And it's like, you if you don't, if I think a lot of public employees might have this too, as far as like people that work on the sidewalks and road workers and stuff like that. Some of those contract types. Where it's like if the elections don't go the way they want to, they'll disrupt things, and they'll make things more difficult. And with police, it's like, well, if you don't want to have policing done aggressively, then we just won't police at all. And then when you see that, that's what I'm talking about how it's like there's a certain expectation that we have of society, and it's when the like moral outrage that we have for it not meeting those expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where it kind of becomes a problem, where it's like if everything's going smooth and there's a crazy dude that's beating his wife, you know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be something to be able to react to that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's like, yeah, like as society, we're not, um, it's like we're trained to not be allowed to defend ourselves, and like everything about it, kind of legally and like everything else, otherwise is to call the police and let this be a police matter. If this is a police matter, like don't take matters into your own hands,
That's
kind of thing.
true. Let the police handle
So
it. Give the
yeah, yeah,
power
yeah.
to someone else.
It's yeah.
Give our autonomy over our things to someone else.
Well, it's an
Like if you
extension.
saw,
It's
let's play
supposed to be
this
an
little
extension of our
autonomy, but let's play
of
this little
our yeah.
scenario. If you had your bike and you parked somewhere and you saw someone stealing your bike in that moment, would you
Hmm.
call the police or would you act?
I know, yeah, you have to act, but it's like that's the thing. It's like
No, would you? I'm
these
just saying,
lights.
would you act?
Would I act? Like I'm
What would
different
you
though.
do?
I'm a different type of person where it's
Well, that's
like,
what I'm asking, Dallas.
yeah,
I'm
if it
asking, what
was
would you do?
mine,
Tell me.
I would put myself in harm's way, and especially if it's just somebody that's trying to steal a bike, and like
Yeah.
they're not really somebody who's really trying to be, like it would be like, and well, Lord help them if they had their back turned to me. It would be like there was something that was akin to a spider monkey that had gotten onto them and wouldn't get off, you know. And
And in this
like
scenario, you're the spider monkey, right?
yeah,
You're the
yeah,
one.
like
Yeah.
full with
So
biting and like I'm like I'm
so
like
then
that.
let's act that scenario out. So you spider monkey the dude on the who's trying to steal your bike,
Yeah,
and then do you get in trouble? Is that what you're
probably.
saying? Like then you would get in trouble.
Probably. Yeah, that's
So
what
this
I'm
guy was trying to steal your
because there was,
bike
yeah, yeah. And it's like, it all depends though, right? Because
or
it's
your
like,
property.
yeah, it depends where it's like sometimes you can tell, like, sometimes it's not worth it. Um,
It should
and
always be worth it, though, right?
well, I'm saying like it all depends where the psychology, right? Where it's like if that's somebody who's really desperate, who's out there, who's ready to be attacked for stealing a bike, they might be more ready than you are, right? And where it's like you might be pissed, and you're throwing yourself like a spider monkey on them.
They're
But then
training for this
that's
moment
exactly
their
what,
whole
yeah,
life.
it's
Like this, they're
that's
waiting for this.
exactly
Yeah.
what they're ready for,
Come at me,
right?
bro. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's a different. I'm just talking
And
like,
then
let's
there's
say the scenario plays out. You
yeah,
beat the shit out of this guy. He leaves. You have your bike. He calls the police.
yeah, and he's got injuries that they can
Yeah.
photograph and say this person
Yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
and he knows where you
Yeah.
live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
And he's probably the, lower level of society where something happens to him, it's going to be better for him.
mhm.
But police come to you, they could ruin your life.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what? I don't know if it's like that here. That's another difference. You're talking about the news in the States, like Scotty Jones beats his wife and blah blah blah, and it's on TV, this terror, and we're all supposed to be scared of this guy or whatever. Here they don't do that.
Hmm.
Here they arrested a pedophile in a Daugavpil somewhere, and all
Hmm.
it is year of birth, gender, and that's all you know about this person. You
Hmm.
don't know their name, you don't know anything about them until they go through a trial, proven guilty, and then maybe 6 months, a year later,
Hmm.
they'll have another little story that'll say this guy went to jail for this. But it's
Hmm.
not like if that happened in the United States, this guy's name, his face, his family. There'd be reporters at his house. And then
And
6 months
sometimes that
later, he
body,
goes to trial. 6 months later, he goes to trial, and they go, "Oh, we got the wrong guy. He's screwed. His whole life is over because he was
yeah,
on
it's
the news for
backwards.
6 months." Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And I
in
hate
the
that.
US
I
though, it's
love that
like,
here.
but in the US, usually you have where they don't make a move unless they are 100% sure that they can win
Yeah,
the
it goes to
case.
the grand jury or whatever, like with the
Yeah,
sandwich guy.
yeah, yeah. So, but here, um, there's something there, and then it can be looked into, and then it's
And then it goes to the trial.
then it goes
Yeah.
into what it's criminal proceedings.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, and then before that, there was a request that would have been made to look into it that would have been 30
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
So there would have been 30 days that that person could have harmed however many children
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
responsible for harming.
There's this system. But I
Hmm.
do like the anonymity of the suspects. I have no idea why we say guilty or innocent till proven guilty, but then we
Hmm.
try people on the public stage with
Yeah.
no you know,
That's good that they got the guy out of the off the
well, I hope
out
they
of
did.
society or what, you know. Hopefully they'll put him
See.
in a cage. I don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah, in the US, I mean, like that's almost like a death sentence for, you know, if it comes if that's actually really,
If your name is in the paper with the
yeah.
word pedophile or sex offender or whatever.
Well, unless you're Donald Trump, you know,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
can you
whoa.
can do it then.
D.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. So what you got? What's going on today? What's our
well,
agenda?
we want to get to your story, no, with and spend some time on there. But like there was something that I thought was strange where I don't know if you've heard this before yesterday about the possibility that Trump was dead.
Yeah, yeah. Three
And
days without a
no, I thought they said 6 days that he
oh,
wasn't
maybe
even.
six. Tuesday. I think Tuesday was the last time we saw him. So
Oh,
Wednesday,
okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was only three. I don't know what they were talking about with six, but maybe it was something else that was before that. Yeah, it was just a really strange thing. The left and the Democrats are so strange with the way they react to everything. And they think that it does something, even after, like, how much more evidence and proof do you need that that doesn't work?
Got nothing. Well, what does is Newsom working? I think that's working pretty
I mean,
well.
it's working to a degree to get under their skin and to do something, but it's like when a crowd is clapping and wooing in a crowd, right?
Hmm.
It's fantastic. We feel great, right?
Yeah.
We agree with whatever ethical or
Whatever the woo,
moral
woo, woo,
thing that
woo.
they've
Yeah.
said. Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
woo. Like, and that's, you know, for anyone that does any sort of crowd and they woo. And then, but then like when it becomes like a Hunger Games thing when you're watching like our Stephen Colbert's up there as all of this stuff is falling apart and literally, you know, like the screws and the bolts are flying in every direction
Yeah. Yeah.
and everyone's like it's like but we will live to fight another day and everybody's like
Yeah.
woo,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I like they're dead.
Now, yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like the like
Yeah.
there's like million like there's a like we are in a boat and there's nothing
Yeah.
but bodies in the, you know,
Yeah.
in the wake and you're and it's like woo.
Yeah.
So I like there's something about that that is kind of I don't know,
Well,
insane.
I think it's the desperation of victory. It's like so I'm from Nebraska and we have this football team that used to be really good in the 90s and now they haven't been good for 30 years. And then there's still that hope that this year is the year, this year is the year. And so if anything good, if you get any glimmer that
Hmm.
this might be good, and
Yeah.
there's this feeling of oh, and it's more exciting, it's more thrilling to that when you're in that low level to have any little hope. So the hope that
Hmm.
Trump was dead, just that 3 day hope that maybe this guy is gone, and
Yeah.
and it brings up this oh
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
glad I
no,
didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad I didn't live through that. Like, I
Well,
just
I
hadn't
didn't have
heard
that
of.
because I think it's scarier if Trump dies. I think it's worse. I
Yeah,
think
it's far worse.
the
Yeah,
people behind him are more terrifying than
right,
even Trump is. Like the
right.
JD Vance and the Stephen Miller, if those two, well, I think Stephen Miller's already running the
Well,
show,
I
but
mean, let's be honest. I mean, Trump's a cosmopolitan, aristocrat compared to these guys.
yeah, yeah.
But
He's
like,
old school.
but they're also his sycophantic cult that's that he
Yeah.
needs around
Or
him to
or
do
they're just
that.
playing into that. Like I get the feeling that it's more of this like show. Like, when Stalin was declining and all the people around him were, still, oh, Stalin, but they're just waiting for their turn. But to
Hmm.
him, they're still praising him and
Hmm.
great leader, whatever. But
Yeah,
behind the scenes, they're working on let's
yeah,
get rid of this
clearly,
guy and move on to the next.
clearly, because like it's like there's something about all of this that's been pushing through from the at least the Bush administration, right? So George W. Bush,
Mhm.
and in the 2000s, early 2000s. But then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, this is bad. We don't want these guys. We don't want this." Well, that's what you're shoving down all of our throats in the 2000s and making everybody's, um, churches go along with that with your faith-based initiatives and all this and that. So now
Mhm.
that it's reached this point, like it's just weird. It's like it doesn't match up and it doesn't add up, and it's why everything like there's no cohesion. Um, One thing, like
Well,
I
it's
said,
like
I
a
think with the left for sure that I see and with the Democrats is they have no sense of uh,
center
how to really stand up and fight for what you believe in and for something
because they
that's
don't
being.
have a center. There's nothing to believe. There's no
There's no sense of
what
ownership.
unifies the other side. So on the right, you have the unification,
Yeah.
like we hate trans people, we powerful organizer, and the Democrats. What brings them together? I think right now the closest thing we have are the anti-billionaire, like the anti oligarchy movement,
Hmm.
but for some reason it's just not catching the way it should because they own all the media, they own all the means of production, they own all of it, so they can
Yeah.
allow a little bit of
Just lock us down.
you need to bring these people together. And the Democrats, they have us fluffy ideas and some, spirit of democracy, but that's not the same as hate on the other side. This driving force of just yeah. Anyway,
I'm sorry, man.
we got 10
Like
minutes left, man. We should
there was something that just locked and froze you up to where
oh
like I
in
didn't
the
get a
middle of
lot of
my
that. I know.
oh, sorry.
We got some of it, but I don't. But there was a lot of it that didn't come through. But yeah, it's like what I'm seeing is where they're not they're not ready to really fight and defend anything. They don't they don't own anything. They have no desire to actually be the owners. They only want to be the complaining renters kind of thing, right?
That's yeah.
And
Yeah.
like that ultimately that's one big part of it because it's like
Because we've
they
created a society of fear of ownership, because if you own something then you can be taken down and attacked for it.
well,
And
I mean, but
that's where
yeah,
Trump's so powerful, is he doesn't care, he owns
yeah.
everything, he owns everything he says,
Well, and it's
and
like
he
where
gets away
it's
with it
like
somehow.
there's obviously a degree of where you have hardworking people that have had the value stripped away from their work, so they can't have any financial stake in it, so they need some other stake in it, right? So like
Yeah.
that's where it's like I'm not trying to just totally throw everybody under the bus in that way, but there is a real problem when it's like, well, here's the solution. First, we need to own this. First, we need to
Yeah.
like let's start by buying some apartments and getting ourselves out of the cold rain and snow and like let's own this thing. but and so it's like, well, no, we can't do that because so it's like this thing of where like there's something about it that seems to be designed to be failure, where it's like it's failure by design if you have the ability and you to use weapons to defend yourself, but then choose not to, because of some, larger like kind of poetic moral kind of idea of like self-emulation, so that you're like this
Yeah.
figure in history when like yeah, and like there's mass graves that are full of people that didn't get into the history books. You know what I'm
Mass
saying? Like,
graves. Wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's where they're headed. Like you sit
Wow.
there, you go into a country and say, we're not going to go by the laws of this country. And then the people who are willing to go by the laws of the country have the ability to kill you with and defend
Yeah.
themselves
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
whether it's their own civilians or the military or the police across the board. And you're like, I'm not going to do anything to even, it's like, bye.
Happens
I
all the
don't know.
time.
Yeah. Like, good night. I don't
All
know
right,
what to
six minutes on the clock, Dallas.
Yeah. Well, I think we should do a second session.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and record some
like
more.
a political talk, and then restart, reset it
Yeah. Yeah.
with something more light.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Um,
like if we want to go
yeah,
heavy,
mass graves.
did
You
we
just
talk
hit
about
on
the
mass graves, man. That was
did we talk
pretty
about the
dark.
Israeli Yemeni thing
No,
where
you want to talk about the Israeli thing?
I
You
don't want
really
to
want to
talk
talk
about
about
it.
that?
I'm just I
No,
don't know
you just
anything
brought it
about it.
up. You just
Yeah.
dug it up.
I did.
Now, I saw this. This is, I don't know if I'm gonna. I just, why am I scared of like saying anything and then being labeled an anti-Semite? Why does that like? Why is that the automatic go-to thing in my brain? Like if I
It's
say anything
horrible.
right now,
Dude,
then I'm.
this morning I made this thing. Let me show you what I made. Um I made this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
DEI Joe. Yeah, I saw that.
DEI
Yeah,
Joe. I was like, I
yeah,
instead of GI Joe, let's go
yeah.
DEI Joe.
DEI Joe.
Yeah. And but like when I first typed it in, I was like, let's make me an image that instead of GI Joe, it's doing a spoof of
Yeah,
with DEI Joe.
yeah.
It does a search on the internet and brings me up a pick link to DEI Jew. And
Oh.
I was like, oh my God, no, 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 no,
No,
no, no,
close it
no,
quick.
no.
Somebody's gonna see that.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Tara, and I was like, oh my God, like this thing is like jumped to anti-Semitism and it's like trying to pull me in there with it. And then like I thought about it a little bit longer and I was like, well, no, that could be a Jewish person that was proud that they were a DEI Jew.
Could
So
be. I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
show you
I'm
something. I want to
like,
share something with
well,
you on the same.
what did I just experience?
I want to show you something on the same vein. Kind of had this moment. Like
Hmm.
friend of mine posted this on his Facebook feed, and so he was given this by a student. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't like Zoom because I can't see what I'm showing you.
Hmm.
So he's given this by a student of his. He's a college professor. He said, "I'm going to hang this proudly in my office." And I'm like, I don't know if you want to hang that in your office. I mean, I get it. There's the red line through the
It's tough.
swastika,
It's
but
tough.
it's still a fucking swastika.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
still, you
lot.
have a Nazi swastika hanging in your. I don't know
Yeah,
how many red lines you need to cover it before
yeah.
it's no longer an offensive symbol. So
That's
we live in
that's
this.
a whole lot of swastika.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole lot
Yeah.
of
So
swastika going on.
you'll have a green line around the screen that you're sharing. That's how you'll know
Yeah,
what
oh
you're
yeah,
sharing.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I want to see like where we are, and I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
Anyway,
I gotcha.
so back to the Israel thing. So I'm just gonna say fact, and I won't come to the conclusion, and maybe you come to the conclusion, or let our listeners or viewers or whoever come to the conclusion. But okay, so this yes, October 7th, terrible tragedy, whatever. But since then, so you have Gaza. We know what's going on in Gaza, or at least we think we know what's going on in Gaza. All the things that are going on in Gaza. They um they broke into the pagers of people in another country, blew up the pagers without any warning, killing innocent people, hurting people, causing all this damage.
Well, they
They,
disrupted the supply chain to get the stuff into
yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
them
yeah,
on the
yeah.
side.
They
That was
went
that
to
was game, man. That
Iran.
was game.
They went to Iran and they assassinated leaders in Iran with weapons of war. Now they went to what country?
Yemen.
Yemen, and they
Yeah.
assassinated people with weapons of war with countries they're not officially at war with. They're not at war
Well,
with Iran. They're
that
not
would
at
be
war
that
with
would
Yemen.
Yemen. The
Even if
Yemen.
you're at war with them, it would still look pretty bad if you go into a country, you just target and assassinate certain individuals, especially leaders of that country.
Hmm.
Like if Zelensky right now bombed wherever Putin's hiding and killed Putin and his family and all these other people, he would look like a bad guy. Ukraine would look like a
Oh yeah.
bad actor because you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't go to the country and kill the leader of that country, even if you're at war with them. And now they're doing it with countries they're not even at war with officially, and they're the good guys. And we, America,
Yeah.
aspires that. It's like,
Well, but okay, well, the thing with Yemen is a little more complicated
oh, tell me. I
because,
just saw the
well,
headline.
if I mean, like, if for years we were only seeing the images of starving children because of what Saudi Arabia was doing to them, right? So all of this is kind of reaction from that, and like then they were able to get missiles and stuff, and the Houthis have been kind of, I guess, effective in fighting things back and like threatening even Danish ships and like global shipping commerce kind of thing. So you have this thing of global shipping lanes, and it's
Yeah,
kind of
well,
like the
yeah.
highway, right? So it's like if
But is
anything
that
goes out there and
Israel's?
blocks the highway, the
But
state
didn't
patrol's
we
got to
we
go in there
bombed
and
them
clear
for
it.
that too? U.S. went and bombed them.
That's what I'm saying, and it started a
Yeah.
chain reaction where all of a sudden like everybody, all like not everybody, everybody in the West basically has, and so like there's
Oh yeah.
multiple fronts of this
Chat
World
Chat
War
GPT
Three.
says this. Chat GPT says this action was a broader response to Houthi attacks, including missile and drone strikes targeting Israeli
Mm-hmm.
territory and international shipping routes
Mm-hmm.
like the
Hmm.
Red Sea.
Yeah.
So this,
So we're gonna have to pick this back up in the second session
yeah, I
here.
see. We have less than a minute left. All
Yeah,
right, Dallas. Let's
let's
have
do it.
some lighter topic for the next
Yeah,
session.
yeah, we'll pick it up a
All right.
little bit.
I'll see you in a minute.
Maybe get into the Gaza
Back,
situation.
Dallas, Houston, El Paso. Welcome back.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. So I'm saying like 20 minutes tops. We can't extend
Uh,
this too much longer.
no,
All right.
no,
But let's get to the
nobody wants to
topic you
watch that
promised
much.
we were going to talk about.
Yes, we want to get to your story and the story of like um, moving to Riga. And when I know when I first met you, I was fascinated by the story that you told me about your father. And at that time, it
Yeah.
was before COVID, and your father was still with us here
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Riga.
You remember the day. You never
Yeah.
met the man though, right?
No, no, I didn't. I would have had to go with you, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't travel with you that out there. But what I remember kind of specific is that he was like one of the first. I thought he was one of the first COVID deaths because it was,
Oh, well, I don't know. Not
well,
officially.
it was right
Not
before
officially.
the pandemic though, or something,
It
right?
was
Like,
right. No, it was March
or
30th.
right
So it was
after.
already, yeah, just
It
right
was right
after.
after. Yeah.
But he was okay. So I'll tell you. So my dad
No,
was
no.
Latvian, Vitauts was his name, Grunwalds. And so he had dementia. And so I came to Latvia. I moved here in 2017 and kind of just wanted to start a new life, just completely see what it was like living somewhere else. I met this guy last night, this writer dude at this jazz concert from the States. He's from Nevada, and we're just exchanging like a little bit about, why'd you come to Latvia? And his story was great, but mine was, I just told him it's like 2016, Trump gets elected. I'm looking around, realizing like this is not my place. Like Nebraska is not my place. I don't feel like this is my home. My family came there after the war. Refugees just ended up living there randomly. Wasn't They didn't select it. They didn't choose it. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I here? I could be, I could live anywhere. And I traveled around and I felt much more at home in other parts of the world, other parts of the United States. And then I visited here. So my dad was living with me at dementia, and he was entering all these lottery contests, spending money to these companies, and just these horrible ways they victimize the elderly in the United States, and no protection. And I'm taking a stack of envelopes that he's putting $20 in each envelope and sending them off every month, like $300-400 a month. He's sending these contests, and I bring one of the envelopes. I said, Dad, it says here you can win. You send him $5, you can win $10,000. What are you going to do with $10,000? And he looks at me straight face, very serious, and he goes, I would like to one time go back to Latvia. And it sounds so nice. This 88-year-old man who wants to go back to his homeland. And the whole thing was he just didn't remember. He'd been back 4 times.
Oh, okay.
He had been back. But because of his dementia in his mind, he had not been back to Latvia since he was 16 years old. He left during the war, and that was it.
Wow.
And so I told him we could go back right now. We just buy tickets, go to Latvia. Really? And I said, yeah, let's go. So him, my sister, her husband, and me, we all came to Latvia in 2016. And I met with my cousins, and I said, yeah, I like it here. I'd like to live here. And they said you could probably get a job as an English teacher. And I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And then I met someone, and I liked the place. And so I decided to move here. 2017, I moved here. I left my brother in charge of my dad. He moved into my house so my dad could just stay in the same place, feel comfortable. But he was declining and declining and declining, and my brother couldn't take care of him very well. So we're talking about, let's maybe move him to Latvia. You could go to an old person's home here. The prices are a tenth of what they are in the States. With his pension, he could afford to live here and do all right, and it would be fine. But my sisters were kind of against it. They just thought, he needs to stay here where his family is, whatever. And then somehow, this is the weirdest thing. So he had this Cadillac. I got him this Cadillac because he always wanted a Cadillac. And he was still driving all the way up to 88, 89. And then we realized, okay, he doesn't know where he's going. He's going to kill somebody. So
Wow,
I took the keys
that,
away.
that probably could have only happened in a place like Nebraska.
Yeah,
Right?
we took the keys away. We hid he didn't have the car, but I had put a low jack in the car when he had been driving, so I could find him if he get lost. Like it would give me a report on my
Wow.
phone.
Okay.
Yeah, it was this device I got, and that device was still connected to this app on my phone, and it was like I'd been living in Latvia for like 6 months or something like that, and all of a sudden my phone goes off, alert, car is out of range. I'm like, what car? What? So I open it up. It's like, and I call my brother. I say, Al, where's Dad? And he's not home. I don't know. I got home from work. The car was gone. He's gone. So I call the police, and they put out a report like missing old person. I call my family. We're looking for him. No, nothing. And then I get a phone call on my American phone. I still have my American phone line. And this lady says, are you Jeff? And I said, yeah. And she says, I got your dad here, Vidtouts. And I said, yeah. She found my name in the car, the owner's manual. My information was in there. She found my number in the glove box,
Wow.
calls me in Latvia to tell me that she found my father. He ran out of gas. He was driving the car, just ran out of gas 30 miles from home. And so I call my sister. She goes to pick him up. And she took a picture and sent me this picture of the back seat of the car. He had his clothes basket with all his things, pictures of my mom who passed in 2012, and his food from the refrigerator, his laundry basket, all this stuff. And she said, Dad, where were you going? What were you doing? She goes, I was driving to Latvia.
Wow.
And it was in that moment she realized, like, okay, yeah, he should go. He should go to Latvia. So 2019, he comes here, and he came here. We found him this old folks home in Ravalna, which is about 20 miles from where he grew up in the countryside. And the pensioner home, the retirement home, was actually a place where it was a home for pastors who used to live there. And my dad was a pastor, obviously, 2PK podcast. And so he was in this place next to the church. And we went there, and they had the services every Sunday. And so he got to go to these Latvian church services again.
Wow.
And he was surrounded by Latvians. Yeah. And it was really nice. And the only problem was he'd go wandering off. And so we had to hire this full-time nurse who came and took care of him, Signe, who's amazing. And he loved it there. And I'd go to visit. Every time I visited him, he's like, and where did you come from? And I said, Riga. Came from Riga. Riga? Riga, Latvia, because he thought every time I came, he was still in Nebraska,
Wow. Okay.
even
So
though the
he didn't
whole time I
realize,
wasn't.
you don't think he fully realized what had happened.
No, but I think, I mean, when I wasn't there, he was speaking Latvian, surrounded by Latvians.
Oh,
They loved him, and he felt right at home. But then as soon as I show
wow.
up, it's like that weird shift. What's Jeff
Yeah.
doing here?
Yeah.
Jeff's in Nebraska. Jeff's not in, oh, it's like, and so that weird shift happened. Yeah. And
Wow.
so he was there for like, 6 months. And then it was in December, I think, of 2019 already, November, December, like they would have these quarantines where you couldn't
Hmm.
go to the old person's home. So people were already getting sick with
Right.
whatever it was, and they wouldn't let you in. And then we went and visited once. We got in, and I had taken him to the dentist. He lost his dentures. he, he flushed him down the toilet or something. He lost his dentures. So we go to the dentist to get him fitted for new dentures. And I think that's the last time I really spent time with him. And I bought this bag of Christmas presents that people had sent from the States. And he's opening these Christmas cards and opening these presents and really just so happy.
Hmm.
And we had a great time. And then it was February. And then again, the quarantine came and we couldn't visit him. And then I got this call March 30th that he passed away in his sleep and just died. And they didn't mark COVID as the official cause of death. They just knew he
Right.
stopped breathing in
But
his
it was
sleep or
like,
whatever.
it was
But they were like,
it wasn't even necessarily that it was just that it was the way everything was when the pandemic was breaking out. Is like
yeah.
you died, you of
But
course that was you died of COVID, right?
yeah, there were a few people there there are a lot of deaths there, a lot of people getting sick. So I think it could
Yeah,
have easily been COVID. It just
yeah,
makes sense to me that
right,
he was perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden he just, he didn't have any illness or anything. He just died,
right.
like stopped breathing. So yeah, and then we had to ship him back to the States, and that was a whole nother story. But so that's kind of how I ended up here and brought my
Hmm.
dad back here. And yeah, so I always feel good about that. He had his final, time
Yeah,
back home and felt like, homeland. One lady
yeah,
there
that's
called him.
incredible. Um, like a lot of my connection with Latvia is through my wife's family.
Hmm.
So, and but then
And what's the
but
what do you
the
know the
more you
Latvian
talk, the more you were talking,
surname?
telling this
What is her Latvian surname?
Constance with a K, Kancans.
Constance. Huh.
Constance. But yeah, the more you were talking, the more I was thinking about my mother, who also has dementia, and that we also share that,
Oh, yeah,
where
yeah,
we
yeah.
had two parents that had dementia.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
she's still alive, she's still with us, so it's a little bit different talking about her in that regard,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
some of those things that are very still very fresh and still very like private family matters kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
When my dad
and
first got dementia, I started writing a blog. I still have a blog about it. Like you can go
mhm,
back and read these stories because I thought it'd be helpful, like for other people's parents going through it, just to read like whatever.
mhm,
But man, my Latvian relatives were not happy with it. They're like, you
yeah,
can't talk about them like this. You can't write about this. I'm like,
yeah.
I just feel like it's a duty. Like I just felt like, you know, everybody's going to go through this. So many people are going through this, and just to hear the stories of like,
I don't think
yeah, this is
it's not really a thing here. Now it might be, and
oh,
they
because
might.
everybody dies when all the men die when they're 60. So
I guess
man,
so, and the women live to be 90 or 100, and
and their brains are fine.
still cracking the whip on folks around
Yeah.
on the younger men around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
it's
think it's
there's
the just aging population, right? I mean,
hmm. Well, it
and
just it makes you
seed oils or
wonder.
something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or what I was saying, like maybe a lack of sunlight, where it's like we kind of grow like
Here.
we kind of grow like mushrooms. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that giant mushroom, man. Where was that?
yeah. You
You
want
showed
to
me
see
that
the
picture. Yeah, you should show that picture. That's the biggest mushroom I think I've.
yeah. I
Was that on
know.
your property?
That was Mara that went and found it. My wife Mara. She had a friend that took her out into the woods, into
Yeah.
the forest here in Latvia. And then, like, I don't know about you, but like I think my wife is one of the luckiest people in the world, and it's not just because she's married to me.
I was gonna
No,
say,
no, it's not
obviously, yeah.
no, like that's kind of like one of the like her, it's like a charity or something that she's like,
Yeah.
I've got so much good luck, you have so much bad luck.
Yeah.
Let's balance some of this
Let's
out.
balance it out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's her Catholic upbringing is being very charitable in that regard.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I swear she's one of the luckiest people in the world, and she went and found this,
Oh my gosh.
and here it is, and like you can
That's like
see,
when you're a little kid and you draw a mushroom. Like,
yeah,
this-
yeah,
yeah. Was this
storybook.
edible? Did you eat it?
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
porcini. This is a porcini mushroom.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. So they have,
Wow.
and so we took it and tried to. We're trying to propagate and like ink. Took a bag of mulch, basically a bag of
Hmm.
pine soil.
Oh, so
Um,
they grow?
they'll grow, and yeah, and so if you can, I think we can inoculate um, like pine and like because from a pine forest. So if you get the
Hmm.
mulch from that stuff,
Hmm.
it should inoculate it and do quite well.
Oh, that would be
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, I mean, like imagine going through the forest, looking around and look for little mushrooms, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you find this tree.
Yeah.
And you
So,
can see my
so
arm. I tried to hold it where it was kind of close to my head. Like I wasn't trying to
yeah,
hold it
yeah,
into the camera,
yeah.
trying to really have it where it was in
For size.
proportion. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you come to Latvia, man?
Oh, well, um, like I said, a lot of it has to do with my wife's family and her grandfather, who, where her grandparents fled during World War II and kind of
So
escaped.
they left Latvia the same time my parents left Latvia. This
Yeah, they were like,
the October 44 kind of thing.
yeah, like it was like the bombing started, people started trying to go, families trying to find each other.
Yeah. In
The
German
whole
DP camp too?
the whole yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, her mother was born in the
DP
German
camp.
deeply camps, yeah. And she actually went back and found exactly where that camp is, and it's like a
I don't
hospital.
suppose you know the name of the camp, do you?
I don't, but I could find it for,
Yeah.
a future episode or something, but
I always wanted to go to Germany and see if I could find. I don't know if there's anything there, but it just fascinates me.
well,
Like,
like anything from that time period would have been redeveloped,
yeah,
bulldozed,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so this or that, unless it was some other significance. This was around a hospital. So like they had a hospital, and I guess that may have been something that was uh,
kept.
planned. I'm saying, as far as your like, where do we want to keep people? Let's put them
Yeah.
back. Like, let's have a hospital nearby.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Um, and so, yeah, like there was a lot of that, and like, um, there was all of the stuff, with the boats and leaving
yeah,
to go to Sweden, and
yeah,
the fishermen and the people being killed in that way and stuff.
yeah.
Um, so his sister, her grandfather's sister, did was trying but didn't quite make it, and like made it to
Uh,
a certain point. I think maybe they had their mother with them or something, and that passed away.
yeah,
Um, but like there's all of these various parts of the story that I'm not doing justice. But yeah, so there after that they were able to repatriate land after the fall of the civil or the fall of the Soviet
the
Union.
civil.
Yeah, it's
So
sort of
you in the early 90s,
feels
they got the
yeah
land back.
feels
Yeah,
feels very similar for sure,
yeah.
historically speaking. But
And
the
they're from Daugavpils, is that or Lakkala somewhere?
Latgale,
Yeah,
yeah, right
yeah.
right around Resigne,
Oh,
and
near Rezik. Yeah,
in Latgale, and they were Latgalian, and so they
yeah.
would speak with the Latgalian dialect,
Hmm.
and so all of those things. And so over the years, I learned lots of things about Latvia, and then I learned like just sort of got acquainted with that there were these other people, and then they kind of became my adopted family, being married
Yeah.
into them, and being elderly people, wanting to take care of them, make sure they were warm in the Minnesota winters, and like if anything would break, a plumbing or something like that, I'd try to fix it. Um, but yeah, so there was property that they repatriated,
Yeah.
and they had put a lot of, for lack of a better word, investment into Mara, personally, as the oldest grandchild.
Oh, she's the eldest grandchild, yeah.
He's the oldest grandchild, and
I'm just gonna put a map of Latvia up,
mhm,
just
yep,
so people, as you're telling your story, kind of
yeah,
see. Because
and so yeah, there just seemed to be a lot of potential that Mara could tap into, where she had a large family here.
yeah,
There was just this like
and
missing
she speaks
piece.
Latvian too.
Oh yeah, 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 quite
That's huge.
well.
So
She's learned
she's
a
the
lot of Latvian.
grandchild. She's the
She's learned a lot of
grandchild
Latvian
of
being
the.
here,
Yeah, that
because
too.
the grandchildren of the American Latvians, and I'm sure this is similar in other places, they learned an older style of Latvian,
Yeah,
in their Saturday morning Latvian.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying when my dad moved back, the old people that they loved his Latvian language because he spoke that old, they said he
Hmm.
sounded like some sort of king or something because it had
Hmm.
this, this richness before all the foreign words came
Yeah, well,
in
that's what they
and
said about Mara. Yeah,
yeah,
that she sounds like that she speaks like an old man or something like that is
yeah.
what they would say.
Oh, that
Um,
sounds insulting.
well,
When they
no,
said to
but it
my
was
dad, it
more
sounded like,
like that
look at that,
you're
look at
speaking
that.
like an old gentleman kind of thing, you
Yeah,
know?
a gentleman. Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
So I just real quick, here's the map. So
Hmm.
people can see like we're in the Riga region, like that's the Riga city is. And then my father was from Vidzima, which is this
Oh,
orange
yeah.
part here.
Closer
And
to
then
Estonia.
yeah, the
So
northern
some of the
part,
places. Hmm.
the forested rough part. And
Hmm.
then Mata's family's from Latgala, which borders Russia and Belarus and
Hmm.
Lithuania. And just a little historical thing, like it's a more Catholic, more Polish people live there because it was part of this Lithuanian Polish Empire. So it's got a whole different history than the rest of Latvia, and it's just a really cool part of the country. They're all cool,
Hmm.
but Latvia is like this mystery, like in the corner of the country where it's a different vibe completely. So people, this is I don't mean to insult you. That's not insulting, Dallas. It's like I call Latgala for me is like the south, the south of Latvia. Like, southern
It's
hospitality,
Latgali.
southern charm,
Latgali. Hmm.
Latgala. Yeah. This
Latgale. Latgale.
Latgale.
Yes, you got it. Latgale.
Let's argue about Latvian pronunciation. Some like we know
Hey,
what we're talking
when
about.
when in Rome.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a cool part of the country. Anyway, so then what year did you come? What was the turning point for you?
Um, I study business cycles, for lack of a better word. Like, I like predictions. I like to play with predictions. I like to see if I can guess which stocks are going to go up, right?
So forecasts and futures and
This was always kind of a game I would play, even as a, like basically right out of high school, trying to get that Wall Street money, like trying to get some
yeah.
of that come my way, my direction. And it took a long time to learn one way or the other, but I could see the that there was something coming where there was going to be a big shutdown, because of decoupling between China and the United States,
Hmm.
where it was a specific project where the NPR had reported one day, where the Chinese had been able to do something inside the U.S. universities that was more advanced than the American companies, and the
Hmm.
American government and the American companies didn't have access to it. And it was
Okay.
like, and the way that they reported it made it like it was a shifting point where it was like,
Yeah.
oh, like something's
So
different now.
what let's get it out of the weeds of this
Yeah.
stuff and get to the
Well,
your
it's
turning
just,
point in terms of
yeah.
like
So
what
that's
year
just,
was it,
mhm.
and how did you and Mata come to the decision to it's a
Yeah.
big
So,
jump.
we met in Asheville, North Carolina, and that's a whole story in and of itself. But
Hmm.
we met there in 2008, and
Yeah.
then around 2010 and 2011, we lived in Minnesota. I wanted to live there and meet her family and let her family meet me, and
Hmm.
things were going really well, and like it kind of seemed like we were gonna get married, as connected as we were, like very very
Yeah.
fast friends, as it were. Um, and the so we were in Minnesota, and then we got married in 2010, I believe,
Hmm.
in
You
June.
believe you better know that stuff, Pete.
No, I do, because it was June
El Paso,
19th.
you better get on that.
Well, it was June 19th, and then after that, Juneteenth became very popular, and it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one more
Whoops.
thing I've appropriated over the years,
Yeah.
so in an attempt to appreciate. But yeah, so it was Juneteenth, and um, in June 2011, we went to Latvia for our honeymoon.
So that
So
was your
we,
first time here?
yeah, that was our first time. Or
Cool.
that was my first time. Mara's
Yeah,
got this
yeah.
whole other story where you
Yeah,
can
she spent
get in.
summers here, she said.
She was
Yeah,
here during one of the nights of the revolution where
yeah,
it everything turned over in the fall of the USSR.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, and then we planned a uh, trip where I think maybe we came with family once, where it was just family, but then we planned a tour in 2018 or
Mm.
2017.
Oh, you brought people here
Yeah,
as part
20.
of your Mata has that her family has this company, this what's it
Hmm. It's
South Coke
called
too?
Baltic Imports.
Baltic Imports,
Baltic
yeah. I
Imports.
think
It
I
can be
actually bought my
found on.
wedding ring from them, but yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, it can be
Yes.
found on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook for Baltic Imports. And
Baltic
yeah, they
Imports. And
had a
they had a
store in Minneapolis.
yeah,
And so they had a lot of diaspora people from the Latvians, the Polish, the
yeah. Lithuania,
Ukrainians,
Estonia.
and just all of these various cultures that
Yeah.
I'd never experienced in that way. Where, like there may have been one family that was, this type of
And
family,
so
and
you
one.
set up a tour for people to come here in 2018. Mata
Yeah,
was
yeah. Mara's
yeah,
parents and Mara organized it. But then because we were here and because we were planning on going there, Mara worked at Warren Wilson College in Asheville and planned a student trip as well,
mm,
so that um, there was like any of the students that wanted to go could go and do
like
this
a
trip
crossover
abroad,
kind of. Yeah,
and yeah, have a cultural exchange type scenario.
yeah,
And so yeah, like so it went where we um did the first trip with the older people, with the pensioners, is what
yeah,
I call them, the
yeah.
pensioners. They
Sure.
mostly were, and they were Germans, a lot of them. Um, and the funny thing is that I had no idea what we were getting into. Like, as far as I was just like, oh, cool, we're doing this.
Yeah,
They're,
just jump in.
they're,
Yeah,
but like I said, I'm meeting Polish people, I'm meeting Estonians, I'm meeting Lithuanians,
yeah,
Ukrainians,
yeah.
Latvians. So now I'm meeting Germans. And it wasn't until we were there and they had their paper etching on the sides of the stones that had
Grave stones.
of memorials for the Nazis.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, Oh
Oh, hold
my
on.
God.
Hold on.
I'm
I gotta.
traveling with a group of Nazis.
Oh, I was gonna correct you and say I
No,
thought they were doing the stones of the people, the victims of the
no,
Nazis.
the soldiers.
No.
And these
Oh,
were
they
like,
were the.
so they were like trying to find family members and names
Yeah.
of the people who had
Yeah.
ended up there, that they
Yeah.
knew and their in their
Yeah.
community. And I was like, then they were just like really into it. And I was just kind of kicking back, sitting back at the bus or whatever. And they were just like all focused in on, and I was like, this is a World War II German soldier grave. What is
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, like, there's it's not easy out here for a white guy. That's all I gotta say. It's like, hey, minefield out here
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
like, there's
Okay,
no
Dallas, let's
end to
focus.
the
Let's get
things
back
that
to
you
the
can
okay. So you
get in
show the
trouble
old
for.
the old Nazis their homeland and you're on this trip.
I am, yeah.
How did you come to the decision, pull that trigger to say, I want to live
Yeah.
where those Nazis are?
Yeah, well, again, I could where the Nazis are buried.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. You're going from where the Klan does their thing to where the Nazis are buried. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And yeah, and I'd always kind of heard about it, and I'm very mindful where like I would never want to be someone who was associated with the Klan, who was associated with the idea of wanting to get away because there were more white people here and wanting to get
Yeah.
away
Oh
from
yeah,
brown
yeah, yeah.
people.
Yeah, you don't want to
And
get
actually, when I first moved here, and but so to make a long story short, like you said, like
yes,
it
that's
feels
what I
like
want to
there,
get to.
it starts to feel like there's no you can kind of go around and there's no place for you, or it's like like um everybody's kind of got their spot, and like the way I felt was like you ain't from around here, boy.
So similar to me.
Yeah, but I mean like it's a very strange situation when you actually are from around there.
Right. Yeah. But you
So
just didn't
it's like,
fit in. You just
what do
felt
you
like
do?
this wasn't my
Yeah,
place.
yeah. It's like, no,
So
no,
tell
I
me
am
about
from
the
around here.
actual moment. So when did you come to Latvia? What
And we
this
came
was my
here,
question.
and yeah, we came here. We sold our house, and then we came here in August of
2019.
2019, and then
And
this
how did we meet?
February of 2020 started the pandemic. So it was right before the pandemic.
Yeah. You came
Hmm.
to my birthday party right before the pandemic.
Yeah, yeah,
It was like one of the first things we probably did together.
yeah. We went to Prague, and
We
my
didn't go to Prague.
no, we didn't. Me and my wife did.
Yeah.
My nephew was there on a school trip from Griffin, Georgia, and
Yeah.
and I'm going around and like, and I'm walking on the bridge, and I could pick out the group of 6 or 7 people that were from Griffin, Georgia.
So yeah, just
Like they stick out like a sore thumb in Prague, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And but like we were in Prague, there was this huge crowds all around, they're looking at the big beautiful clock there
Hmm.
that's there in the middle of the town square. And I told my nephew, I was like, this is going to not happen. Yeah, for like it's about to stop. It's about to shut down. I think at that time maybe it had already shut down in Italy or something. Like there was some like
So this is
like it's
February
breaking the
2020?
healthcare system,
Yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of thing. But I'm looking at from the business perspective, and I'm like, there's no way you're going to have a divorce between China and America, and
Oh my
it's
gosh,
not
back to China and America.
and it's not going to shut down these ports. It's not going to do everything. It's not going to wreak havoc across the economy. So things have to stop. Whether it's, and then like all of a sudden the authorities become concerned about public health, where you see exactly the way they acted before and the way they act after, but then between that, it's like, we don't want you to get sick. We don't want any of you to get sick. Like they don't want themselves to get sick. And there was something that was actually that was right that was threatening them, but they don't. But
So
yeah, anyway.
so yeah, so you left everything behind. And what does your family think? They think you're crazy for wanting to
Well,
live
again,
here?
my mom has dementia.
Hmm. But you
Um,
have a sister
she
and
constantly is asking if we would be moving back. She kind of stopped asking about that. As
oh,
much. But I mean, she was telling me a lot more about how she wants to go. But that's a very strange disease. We should talk about that more.
Yeah, we could
because
have a little
like we'll
chat
do a
about
whole
it.
episode on it because
But you
it's
have
like
other families. What I'm
um,
saying, like family, friends from
no,
back home. What do they think of the whole?
they
Are they
understand.
jealous? Are they angry? Are they?
No, no.
No.
I think they'd like for me to be able to visit more, you know,
Yeah,
but
it's a hard trip. Isn't it a hard trip though? Just
I mean, it's hard when you know, it's hitting the fan every 2 seconds over there, and one, you
oh
know,
yeah,
it's like
that's yeah.
that's another reason that was a factor in moving away was not only how employers treat their employees,
Oh
but
yeah.
but um, that if you don't know if you're going to get shot if you go to the grocery store or to the movies or to
Yeah, oh, yeah.
church or to you know, and obviously schools, I don't have to worry about that
Yeah.
anymore. But
Jesus.
you know, I mean, it's like it's
Yeah.
not it's I kind of live by this thing around the Second Amendment where I don't mind if you bring your guns, just don't shoot me. You know what I'm saying? Where it's
Don't shoot anybody. Can't we just not shoot anybody? Would that be
well,
nice?
we used to have it was like just you know don't come up in here and shoot up the place. Like
Yeah.
whatever happened to that,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
too no but not enough people heard that message. Don't
Yeah.
shoot up the place.
Maybe that should be in the Constitution, like
Yeah, yeah,
an
like
amendment to the
yeah,
Constitution. Like
right,
you
right.
can have a gun, just don't shoot people.
Yeah,
Don't
don't shoot up the
yeah.
place. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
don't shoot
let you
up the
know it's
place.
like you know you're
God,
being
can you imagine the
threatened or there's
interpretation? The
or unless
interpretation of that
you're
200
unless
years, 200 years from now, Dallas adds in the amendment, don't shoot up the place. And the Supreme Court is parsing those words. What did he mean by place? What did he mean by shoot up?
yeah.
What did he mean by don't?
What do
What
you
does
mean by
don't
the?
mean?
Yeah,
Yes,
what was the
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 place.
in
This
there?
place,
Yeah.
any place, yeah.
Was
Specific.
was it the with did he mean the with two E's?
Yes, maybe
Yeah.
he meant the place.
Yeah.
Y'all, maybe he meant y'all
Yeah.
instead of you. Maybe,
Your place. You can
yeah,
shoot up my place,
yeah,
don't shoot up
yeah,
your place.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
shoot
like
up the place. Yeah,
a gun for me and not for thee.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. I think I don't know. We could talk about the future of the states here next time, but we gotta let's move on. And how do we close out the show? We need a closer.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Um,
got a joke.
yes. Oh, I
It's a
have
terrible joke,
mhm.
but it goes with
Sometimes
our
the
theme
best.
of Nazis. We've had a lot of Nazis come up today. So
Mhm.
so I did a comedy routine and I was trying to come up with a I try to come up with something new every time. And this didn't work very well, but I'll try it here. I just want to see the expression on your face. So see if anything comes. So I set up the joke by saying I set up the joke by saying I was talking about flooding the zone, the concept of flooding the zone. Like this is what the fascists in America are doing. They just there's every day open. I did this thing about every day open the news. It's something horrible that Trump's doing, and then you open Latvian news, and it's like the flowers are blooming late this year, or the Spanish slugs are spreading. It's like the difference between the two. And so I was talking about this flooding the zone concept, and I was trying to say like flooding the zone, like what it is. It's like a comedian trying to tell three jokes at the same time. Like, what do you call an orange clown monster and all his followers who are trying to destroy a country? What comes before X and Y? And what do Latvians use to cut their potatoes? Nazis. That's the joke.
Um, yeah, that I don't know, man. That kind of broke my brain a little bit along the way.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And
And I
I
think
got
that was almost the point, though, of what becomes like when you say what comes before X and Y.
yeah. See, that's the one that breaks people's brains.
Yeah.
What comes before X and Y? Not Z.
Oh. Okay, so you've got three different references to
Yes.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three different.
Okay.
The punchline is all Nazi, but it's three jokes simultaneously winding up to the same punchline. And
Right.
they, yeah, not before what comes before X and Y, nobody gets it. And the problem, of course, is it's very American because everybody else says Z or some other, they don't say Z. We
Uh,
not Z. You have to be our alphabet to really make sense. Anyway, that's it. That's all the time I got.
oh, well, I mean, that's not too, I think it's a work in progress.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a,
that's well.
yeah.
My other friend said it was. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it too hard. So, but I
Well,
want.
there's something about it where it's like, I think it's maybe a counterintuitive to the idea of stand-up comedy because you're trying to take your audience along on a trip with you that where they get the psychology behind it instead of where that felt like psychological judo,
Yeah.
you know?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I
It's
keep working on it.
it's
Yeah.
just more
When are
of
you gonna
like
get out? When are you gonna get out
it's
and do
like
some
you're
stand
kind
up,
of you
man?
give them the lift up and
When are
then it's
you
like
gonna get on that stage? When are you gonna rock the mic?
I'm like I've tried and I think there's something inherent about me. I'm think under the right circumstances and the right format I could. Um, but there's something about it where, as a preacher's kid, avoiding
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pulpit and avoiding the
yeah.
stage.
See, I love that.
Um,
I
but
can't get
but
enough.
honestly, I'm lying because I've also created like a lot of blues concerts and would sing
No,
and get up there and
yeah,
just
yeah,
love to sing the
yeah.
blues
And
and
when
stuff.
you do the political talks, you get up there and you rock the mic.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
all right, D, let's call it a Sunday.
we will. And next time we'll get into the WTF did I buy?
All
Because
right, what the fuck did I buy? Yeah,
yeah, I
and
bought some stuff.
God bless you and yours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
or blessings be upon thee.
Ooh, is that what you guys say?
Well, that's like for
At the end of the
our
service, we
Muslim
say,
brothers and sisters.
my dad would say, go in peace, serve the Lord.
Hmm.
Thanks be to God. So
Oh,
go in peace, serve the Lord, and then we'd all say, thanks be to God.
okay.
And then the organ would
Well,
play.
mine would say shake hands and be friendly.
That's creepy. We did
Well,
the handshake in the middle of the
it's
service.
creepy. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
well,
the way I said it.
the way
Maybe
you
it's the
say,
way I said it. Yeah, yeah. It's not.
shake
It was
hands and
not
be
creepy at all.
friendly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
All right.
like
All
because
right.
it's like this thing of like where you're trying to like okay, everyone, we can close this out and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because they're all
Touch
standing
each
there.
other.
What
Touch
it
each
is
other.
he explained it once that like it'll stop and then everybody will just sit there and stare at you, so you have to tell them something to do.
All right.
All right.
Peace
Okay.
out, buddy.
Yeah.